Hark, hark, hark. Never sold my soul to the devil, but I can say you his. Welcome to Dante's America, where the demons live. Can you tell me the difference between the snake and the rib? We take the witches to the stake just because of Eve's beard. I got nothing to give, cause there's something to take. I plot my escape while drinking fermented grapes. The undead, the Dracula, the bat with the cape. Can't see the execution, the space where lurky smiles or sobs. Do not bungle the job, you might trouble the mob. They will have you for lunch, anybody gets touched. The prostitutes don't clutch, and the ghosts stay hushed. I move smoothly for the booty, need my gold in a plush. So welcome, hear ye, come one, come all. This the last of days, masquerading deaths at the ball. Watch a dragon soar the sky and breathe fire on all. Strive to stay alive, because the wolf don't crawl. Yes, the eagle is law, we hunt the feeble and small. I'm not speaking to y'all, this is silence and secrecy. Providing the mystery, right story about victory. My blunt stay hickory, bitch niggas can't get with me. Not only OG, you know that shit on history, nigga, fuck it. I catch a traitor's head in a bucket, I'm never trusted. My sword is never rusted, I'm plagued with the disgusted. Amazed and I love it, guns blazed at the summit. Gargoyle, who won it? Survive fights with nights, so watch your eyes turn bright. Keep your rosary beats for things that bumper tonight. Cause even saints face the tank for a piece of the bank. We all moving up ranks with these double-edged shanks. This is pirate and plank with song and strong drink. How long will fate take with bad success and good mistakes? We all gotta wait for the black or pearly gates. I was never early or late, the right don't debate. No, I won't hesitate. Rip his nose off his face, put his hand on the plate, then I'll boil it with dates. They'll taste checkmate and then we all say grace.
Say shit. Call this production. You ain't no West Side junkie bitch naked on a garbage can. I put you in the finest hotel in New York with over 2,000 plastic chumps that got just one thing on their dumb minds: getting a piece of you.
The young Shaka Zulu, who knew the dude would grow from YouTube, evolved from Boo Boo, all through what I've been through. My sister knew jujitsu, move just like Vishnu. Yes, we pay dues and let that 223 choose or kiss my blue suede shoes. Never look in my eyes, we hold the meeting outside. The element of surprise, the elegant and the wise. Elephant is my size, the testament that don't lie. Heaven sent, so we fly, represent till I die. Nothing else but Saga City. We drink whiskey out of double D titties. AK got 50, just to bless the holy shitty. We show no pity or no mercy, that's even if your pocket's hurting. Rolls Royce or the casket curtain, pleasure or the treasure searching. You niggas know I push that work in, that's for certain. They call me Father Merchant, the Martian lurking. They got your baby mama twerking and baking biscuits. Everybody's your servant in the gangster living. This is the money religion. Let the games begin, divide the boys from men. We let the games begin, divide the boys from men. We let the games begin, divide the boys from men. We let the games begin, divide the boys from men. We let the games begin, divide the boys from men. Let the games begin, divide the boys from men. You see, I try to stay classy, but niggas don't like respect. A bunch of goons with hair on spoons and tattoos on their neck. A bunch of fools that'll lose their whole life in a bed. Around whores and corsets, more or less. Money's merry distress. When they birth life and death, we ask who fathered this mess. The debt from a pregnancy test got you asking what's next. Sell your flesh, cause you deserve the best, don't ya? Never know the aroma from a hairy choncha. Never know what side you want until your life's a Kona. With that beef, we squeeze like limes on my Corona. From California to Florida, we survive with slanted eyes and mob minds. Nigga, this is God's grind. We will see in due time, put belief in new crimes. Relief is for the good guys, release the weak from true lies. Let them meet the chief of the blue skies, why not? I'm from the 90s, nigga, it was dark and hell was hot. We let the games begin, divide the boys from men. is kind of fucking crazy out here in the world, man. A lot of shit. Maybe I should have just rode the wave with the whole Charlie Kirk situation. I know people want to hear what the God 720 has to say on the Charlie Kirk. I guess we can start there. There's a lot of things that's happening. There's so many things going down. I think I need to be creating a lot. I should have created a little list before I even started the video. First and foremost, we still got the sale going, theblackmansbible.com. Get all 10 books. The Kicked Out of Heaven, Volume 1, 2, and 3, The Black Man's Bible, The Ethereal Law, and all the ebooks for $100 right now. Go there to get that. The kickedoutofheaven.com. You get the whole series for $33. That's including shipping and handling. Make a move so you don't lose, because shit is flying out the door, and then when it's gone, it's gone. Okay, there won't be any more editions of Kicked Out of Heaven in color until I produce the hardcover. So besides all of that good stuff, man, oh yeah, also donate. Let me put all the links in the room too, and y'all get up in these comments with all the questions about what's going on, any current events we're going to be speaking about today, because it's all crazy, it's all insane. And you know, I don't see what the fucking point is, man. I don't see why people are operating in said format. But you know, I mean, I do get it. I don't even know where to start. Oh yeah, we was gonna start with the Charlie Kirk thing. I don't curse anybody's death. I don't speak bad on death. You know, I stand at the gateway of death, so I can't do that. You know, his last name is Kirk. Kirk is a Scottish word, which is also means church. You know, so they tried to uphold him as the current Jesus, you know, because the people are depressed, and the people, they want something to cry about. They want something to see that makes them feel better about their life, and to see somebody else passing away. You have to understand, this is, you know, Western civilization politic system that could, you know, stem from taking pieces from other political situations that may have occurred in Egypt or Assyria or any other ancient civilizations that merged into Greece and then developed over time into what we see today. That's what you have to understand. So with me stating that, a lot of people ask me, yo, how you feel, what you think. And it's like, yo, I got to start changing my answers, I guess, because sometimes I give answers that shut people down and out, and then there's no more conversation, you know, because of some of the answers I give. But this situation, just like many others that we've seen throughout time, you know, when there's a social agitator, the social agitator will be killed in front of the audience. That's the baseline. You know, you can call Hitler a social agitator, Lenin, Martin Luther King. You know, it goes on and on and on and on and on. You can find this all throughout medieval history. You know, Julius Caesar was a social agitator. He was a political agitator. And he was stabbed up in front of everybody, and all of his friends had to dig the blade into his torso. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is all Western civilization shit. Some people want to call it white on white crime, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's political insanity. You know, there's many different softwares that operate in the space of insanity. And, you know, as you know, the wife poisoned the husband, the princess was poisoned, the prince was slaughtered, the king was assassinated. You know, the queen cheated on the husband with somebody else. You know, the king has bastards running around in society. You know, the princess goes and runs off with the usher boy, and now it's a Romeo and Juliet story. You have to understand that these things are just the human behavior software systems that continuously roll throughout every single civilization. It doesn't matter what time period or what the style of the culture of the civilization is, or what their religion is, for that matter. You know, the son wants to kill the king. You know, this shit, here has been going on for eons. We want your throne. We need your land. The invaders come in overnight. There is a great conspiracy and mystery going on. Who poisoned everybody in the king's court? This is repetitive shit. So what you just saw is the the social agitator is killed in front of the people. The people are currently depressed. And with the people looking at the government as a mirror, they want something to cry about and feel bad about because they are not progressing within their own individual life. They want to feel connected to something. We need to have something that makes us feel like we are the world, we are the children. Sing along. Everybody sing along and hold hands together now. This is white boy doing white boy shit. White folk on white folk. That's what it is. White folk on white folk calls out, black on black crime. We're not involved. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I don't know who this Kirk dude was. He showed up on my feed a lot, but every time I listened to anything he was talking about, he was defending heterosexualism. So that's good. He was defending the original habits of man and not trying to allow this bullshit to come through the door of the tranny and all this other shit. But once again, that war is exclusively European Caucasian shit. I mean, I'm not drawing a line of, who is who and what is what, but we must, recognize what our behaviors are as a culture. Um, and those behaviors are going to show up on your resume from eons of times of what you've been doing. And brother, I don't think there's any black people that have a laboratory that is producing the weirdo. We don't microwave humans. I don't think the Native American Indians got a laboratory or a lab where they're making fucking sex freaks. I don't think the Mexicans or the cartels are creating trannies or pills for trannies. This is exclusively a European issue. This is exclusively a Caucasian issue. Nobody else is financing it. Nobody else is involved. You want everybody else in the world to be involved in your problems. These are your problems, family. These are your psychological issues. And the majority of the world don't have them. Now, you have infected a lot of people with your MK Ultra bullshit, and they were too weak to understand what was going on in their society or understand and accept who they are or what their racist position is on this planet. That is one of the initial standpoint of the initial catalyst is the word for black insanity. Black African American insanity is not recognizing your position. And when you don't recognize your position, you live in a fantasy as if you're not, as if you are something that you're not. You are the children of slaves. There's nothing wrong with that. That is just what the time period is. That is what has occurred. Okay, you don't understand how money truly operates. You don't understand what respect is thoroughly. You don't understand what support is thoroughly. You don't understand what investment is. You don't understand what interest is. You don't understand what community thoroughly is. You don't understand what culture is. There's nothing wrong with that. To recognize the status of not knowing is also at the same time beginning the path to figure out and know. If you have a problem with those things, then you have a mental issue. Now, everything that I just said about what niggas don't got, I bet you there's somebody who heard that shit and they're running around in their room right now, like a fucking ape, swinging their arms everywhere because they heard that. Like somebody said right here and I'm not saying this about you, but we got a comment right here that says they are pushing eugenics rhetoric hard right now. Yes, that's good. I'm a eugenicist. Why wouldn't you be a eugenicist? A eugenicist, and what the definition of a eugenicist is that you have a responsibility to Now, this is a philosophy that they created, but they created a lot of other philosophies that you live by every single day. And that's driving a vehicle and stopping at the stoplight is something that Europeans created. Even you want to say, yeah, the black man made the stoplight, or the black man had the first car or whatever, but he's not writing you a ticket on those roads. Those roads are named after who? So you see what I'm saying? Like, the one miracle story is okay, but guess what? If you don't have racial support because you don't have a mentality of making your race better, so then you don't know how to protect things that your race develops. You see how that works? You see, if you protect the things that your race develops, and then you can manufacture and produce, and you can distribute, and you can divide the finances amongst your racial group. If you have a mentality that you're going to do everything in your power to make your race greater. And that's, and at the same time, while you're making your race greater, you do have to depreciate the value of other races or leave them in neglect. And that is the rules of eugenics. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. I'm going to try to make my children as better as best as they can. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to even try to write philosophy to do so. I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Red ants are going to make red ants better. Black ants are going to make black ants better, man. That's just the rules of this game. Like, a lot of people don't have a clear psyche, and with the exception of what's going on. You know, like I said, the whole Charlie Kirk thing, I don't know nothing about it. I'm not connected to dude. I don't listen to the liberal nonsense. I understand. I don't listen to European political nonsense, because I understand that it has nothing to do with their real root decision making system, for number one, and for number two, it's only entertainment to keep the natives running around in a circle. And it's also a system to keep Europeans into a hype mode, to keep them hyper about, the environment, what's going on, and to bleed those people out to make sure that the natives are still connected on, oh, I'm liberal, and oh, I'm Democrat, and oh, I'm this, because the native feels like they need to, drink some coffee, and, oh, well, I believe that the liberal, nobody gives a fuck, being it's fucking useless bullshit. You understand me? Like, it has nothing to do with the mandates for survival. The mandates for survival is paying your bills, having your roof over your head, so on and so forth. When you're living in this form of civilization, industrial slash technology civilization, and other forms of civilization, that's not really the rule. You know what I'm saying? Some people living in mud huts are cool with that. They don't want the stress of the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? We live in the pressurized stress shit. So I don't know, bro. This whole David thing is interesting. Like, who is this nigga? This nigga come out here slaughtering little girls and shit. And that's another crazy point to it, because her name is Celeste. And that's also celestial being. So, which is an angel. And then we have, Charlie Kirk, who is the church, gets slaughtered. And then everybody is, you know, um, acting like that is a big issue. I guess it is a big issue. But like I said, bro, I read books. I read books. So I'm desensitized towards a lot of shit that people are hype over, because, Europeans understand that you don't understand history thoroughly, and they don't want you to, and that's why they keep this big circus of political bullshit, and on, live breaking news, and all this other shit that's fucking irrelevant towards existence, bro. I don't give a fuck, about, like, I just read the case about the PA situation in Philadelphia, where the little boy was gonna kill the girl's family, and they saw the boy on the security camera. He hid in the barn. The police looked for him in the barn. um we'll get to that statement in 1 minute. Keep on putting up everything you want to put about eugenics or whatever, but we'll get to that. The little white boy hid in the barn. The sheriffs come over there looking for him. They can't find him. They come back in the morning to look for him more because they saw him on the camera. The white boy comes out with an AR-15, kills 3 sheriffs. He gets into a big shootout before he was killed, all over a female, bro. Like, bro, the insanity that's going on with the human about this pussy shit is fucking ridiculous. Ladies, the pussy is not illegal. And the more you want to try to make the pussy illegal, the more violence that's going to be out here with all of this other shit. You dig what I'm saying? Um, yeah, and I don't know, man. It's crazy. You need to go ahead, get your fucking out of your system, because every human is born with the desire of some goddamn fucking, you know, and that is natural. It's called reproduction. I don't know why the human is so immature about this reproduction shit. And they don't put so much bullshit in front of these women's faces, these little girls' faces. But not only that, it's the food that's disorganizing people too, man. All the chemicals people are putting inside their bodies, man, is making everybody repulsive against each other. It's like magnets, There's the magnets aren't sticking together. You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. It says they're using eugenics rhetoric to keep money away from us. 400,000 black women unemployed and 800,000 able-bodied black men not working due to some rhetoric. No, that's due to your own actions, bro. Because there's a lot of black women who are employed who, you know, pressured themselves in the scholarly area, got up into the sororities and whatnot. And, every black woman I've been encountering lately is employed. So, I don't know, bro. I don't. One thing about me and my thinking, is which I hope that you, and I'm not saying for you to adapt my form of thinking, is just a simple format. And it's a format that a lot of people use. And when you're in a situation, you have to blame yourself, and I've been in a lot of crazy situations and I had to blame myself for my position in that situation. And I mean, I went through a lot of shit this summer. This year has been a very crazy year. So you have to blame yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't have those problems. I'm employed. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I'm employed and self-employed. So I hear everybody and all of that. Black entrepreneurs, advice to black entrepreneurs: don't put your face on the front line. It's just really easy, man. Use somebody else's face, use somebody else's, allow people from other races to be involved in whatever you're developing or distributing, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you're going to need that assistance because it's going to break away from what the picture is. And it boils back to this whole David shit. It's like, bro, black people are the rarity on this planet. Let's be very clear. Okay? Let's be clear for a second. Asians are light skinned with straight hair. Hispanics are light with straight hair. White people are white with straight hair. Turkish are light skinned like the Asian and the Mexican, maybe a different hue, but straight hair. The Indians are dark skinned, but Indians have a very strong self-reliant system, whether they're swimming around in rivers with shit logs or not. They have a system in which they rely on each other and they advance their finances pertaining to that. And they have a similar straight hair. Now the black people and who we are in America, and also America, we don't fit within that line. We have a different curly hair, we have a different, skull structure, a different phenotype, different skeletal, and that's shown with sports and other things that put us on the front line. What you have to understand is that from what other races see, and when it comes to what's being exploited on the television, that judgment is going to rub off on everybody else that's in the same category, unless you're in the space of the Magic Johnson and the 50 Cent millions and gazillions, unless you're in the space of the Cameron. That's why Cameron had to let dude get off of his show, because we're not even going to put a comparison. We're not going to allow the public to even think that me and you can sit in the same room and be of the same line. There's a lot of there's social classes and financial classes here that need to be divided. Okay, and this is what the truth is, because the bottom scale of existence are not going to change their habits. And for those who think they're going to judge and criticize and convict the habits of the lower levels, you're just only going to be shot, as we've seen what happened with the Kirk. Because if you look at what happens with black leaders ain't even black leaders, they're actually white leaders. And well, what do I mean by that is because they're always talking about white folk and trying to change the behavior of white people. You're not going to change the behavior of the winner. The winner is going to look at you like you're a fool. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't no statement that I made. That was something I saw from somebody that popped up on one of my screens. He said that shit. I was floored. And because that's exactly what it is. The majority of what you call black leaders spit nothing but spit information pertaining to the activity of white people and how that needs to be altered. Okay, as a matter of fact, kicked out of heaven is describing the activity of white folk. I'm guilty of the same shit, but I wrote the black man's Bible first. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So this is what it is. Like, bro, blame yourself for whatever situation that you're in. I have to do the same thing. And that's just where it is. If we're gonna talk about moving as a so-called unit, it's very scary when you got individuals like this David situation, this nigga chopping up little girls and leaving them in his car. And then, nigga, I done seen so much wild shit about this shit. I don't even know what to call this shit no more. This shit is the highest level of dumbass. This nigga, he left the body in a car playing funeral music, and the car was playing funeral music. And then he got a video of him cleaning the blood off the girl's shoes. And then he got another video where at the beginning, at the front of his concert, there was a white casket in front of the concert. So shit. I'm like, yo, what is going on? But see, this is the attitude of the bitch nigga, which the niggas in the 90s was trying to get rid of and trying to maintain. This is some weird vibration, some weird psychological condition that definitely evolved out of slavery. And but we also see remnants of this type of glitch thinking inside of Africans and African tribes too. So it's not to be removed. You can't be sitting over here just blaming white folk for every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. This glitch thinking, which I just encountered this over the weekend. Many of my homies' children this over the summer. This type of thinking that's going on in the younger generation, and you could also see it in white kids. White kids is killing their parents like crazy too, and motherfuckers is killing their parents. These little kids, man. And what's going on is, it's this glitch thinking of, I love you so much, but you're so beautiful to me that you shouldn't be alive and I kill you, but I love you when you're dead. And then I wish to be with you again. And, I hope everybody can feel the pain with me. And we're supposed to be in love, but now you're dead. And then we're going to cry together. And then we're going to pray to Jesus. And everybody is going to feel sorry for me. And they're going to have compassion towards me. And, and I'm crying. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You a weird ass nigga, B. You know what I'm saying? And this is the mentality that is going on with a lot of young folk. And it could be from fucking around with them when they were born. These young people, they don't try to plead with their parents to go out. If they get told that you can't go out tonight or whatever, they just hunch their shoulders and they don't give a fuck. But what's going on though is, you punish them enough, because every time when you punish people, you may be punishing them for a certain thing, but that doesn't mean they take your punishment as a punishment, and it actually goes into their mind as a correction, as there's a correction being installed towards whatever just happened, whatever the circumstance was. They'll just take it as, you're abusing me from doing what I want to do. And then they'll start painting you as the devil, and then they paint you as the tyrant, and then it just blows up in their system. And you have to understand, with the amount of video games and the amount of movies and the amount of badass eating and the amount of bullshit they see up on their phone, like when you go up on the fucking Instagram right now, or you go on Facebook Reels, I don't know what's showing up on y'all feed, but man, they be showing all these videos of these motherfuckers getting killed at their job. Shit is crazy. I done seen so many goddamn shootouts and all types of shit up on these videos that be pulling up on my Instagram and Facebook. It's like, yo, what is going on, B? What is with all the death shit, man? Like, I don't promote no death. I don't promote that shit in my music. I let you meet death though, the real entities in volume 2. If you want to feel that energy, if you want to see what it really is when it comes to death, my friend. And read the Kicked Out of Heaven. We'll see if you come out alive, my nigga. I don't know if the books just sent a glitch through niggas' heads across this goddamn globe. But the nigga David, this shit is wild, bro. You know, what's even so wild is the police keep on making this announcement like they not locking him up because it's a death investigation. Nigga, the bitch. Yo, my bad. But the little girl is chopped up and shit. Like, what the fuck is we talking about? The little girl is chopped up and you ain't locking this nigga up about no motherfucking murder investigation. And you got her, man, I don't know, bro. Like I said, the girl's name is Celestial. That means angel. Charlie Kirk is church. So angel and church. This is basically the war that's still going on in between the dark and the light that is happening with European culture that has now engulfed the planet. And the reason why it has engulfed the planet because you're using English words. And the English language is compiled with tons of demons and devils inside the words. But there's also saints inside the words. There's also gods from ancient civilizations inside the words, and that's including names. So a lot of people are underneath words and extra shit that is definitely having them operating in a behavior line of the spirits that was installed in them. And we're talking about the spirits from Solomon's jar, which was like at 30,000 demons. But there's been more built since then. They're all then when they combine inside of a human, that's a new one that's structured because of the way the mathematical system works. So a lot of people want to get caught up into the dumb shit, man, by not understanding the words they're using, not understanding the food they're eating, not understanding anything that they're doing. You have no consciousness about your decisions. So then it defaults to this space of retarded action. And that's what we're seeing on the news every day. What was another situation? Oh, they ruled the kid and the black man in Mississippi that got hung, that was found hung. But I think his autopsy said he had broken legs and broken bones, but they're gonna rule it broken legs and broken arms, but they ruled it a suicide. So, but what are black people gonna do about that? Why they screaming about reparations and all this other stuff? Like it is a very hardcore line of weakness that has been exemplified. Now, anybody just sat back and thought about it, how the whole rap game just got cleaned up like some ghetto niggas at the park selling crack in the 90s? Like, god damn. Like, they brought the paddy wagon through hip hop, nigga, and locked up all these niggas. Okay? And ain't nobody even talking about it. Lil Durk, motherfucking Big U, motherfucking Puffy, motherfucker. All these niggas is locked up, bro. You got motherfucking sex tapes and 1,000 bottles of oil and all types of bullshit going on. Like the whole game. The whole game, they just cleaned it up. And then they gonna lock up this dumbass nigga murdering little girls and shit. Like, what the fuck, bro? And then don't ever ask me why I ain't never pushing no motherfucking rap shit. Who wants to be in a room full of clowns like this, man? This circus ass niggas, man. You know what I mean? I don't want my name identified with none of you niggas. Do you, do you understand me? Do you understand me? The guys in between stands alone, nigga. Saga City Records stands alone, broski. Just like I told you, niggas. I told you when I came in here, man, back in 07 and 08, I pointed out all this weak ass shit. Now this nigga Dave Blunt's talking about he was getting groomed by Kanye, bro. This is what you like, bro? This is what you bro. But I remember niggas was defending the Kanye. Yeah, that's right. Bitch ass nigga. Look at your boy Dame. Look at this shit. This shit is illmatic, bro. Look at this shit. That nigga Cameron stand tall, man. That nigga Cameron don't got a smudge on his motherfucking name. That nigga don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. It's too much devious, uh, derogatory, demonic activity going on. And it's not demonic. We need to stop talking about demonic and trying to make this shit to some third party. No, what people need to understand is that when you study psychology and when you study, you know, human behavior, you begin to find out that stupidity is equal to devil worship. A dumbass, okay, who cannot look at a situation and assess the situation and, draw up a conclusion and then also develop hypotheses for other possibilities of the circumstance is a dumbass. Okay. So, I don't think we need to be wasting tax dollars on dumbasses. If you want to go out here and say you want to dig in the cave, you want to go down in the cave and you want to see if you can fit through the small space because you think there's a big fucking chest of treasure behind this little small space, and your dumb ass gets stuck with the light on your helmet. Guess what? We're leaving you down there because you're a dumbass. That's right. And we're not going to waste our tax dollars looking for you and your stupid fucking shit. You know, you go inside the store, you want to do a prank because, somebody, because you think you're going to get views online and you disturb somebody while they're buying an apple pie in aisle 9, and somebody go upside your head with a bat. Then we're just going to throw the white sheet on the body, get it out. We're going to clean it up. And then that's that. Dump your body on the fucking side of the Mississippi Bridge. You understand? I don't understand. A stupid motherfucker is gonna get stupid results for doing dumbass shit, and we should just allow it to be that way. Don't need to intervene. And there's a lot of levels of dumb shit that people should be doing that they get very get seriously injured from. Gymnastics. What is the point? You're jumping up and down, flipping all around for what, bro? What is the achievement here? What great thing have you done? You want to set a goal and flip it around every goddamn where? Then you bounce the ball and put it in a fucking hoop. Wow, nigga. It really shows the lower level thought pattern of not only the individuals who are doing the shit, but those who are in the audience. You understand? There is a mandate for all of us to be interested in science, and with that interest we'll be able to solve a lot of the problems that we have on this planet. But within us, discovering new things and conquering areas of science, there's going to have to be violence, because the violence is going to restrict those who have been fucking up our science, like Nikola Tesla and everybody else who has come through with a multitude of different inventions. Same with even George Washington Carver, I think it was, and he's the one with the peanuts. They said that nigga had over 700 different patents on peanuts. He could run cars on peanut oil. This planet could be a lot better if we was, really serious about science and really serious about our environment. But now television has told the human mind that everything can be put into a space of fun. Everything can be put into a space of comedy. And this is where everybody is getting fucked up. You know, they put too many things in society that women are now interested in. Like I saw a post the other day. It said a woman said that she'd rather have a family and a household as her legacy than rotting away in a corporate office doing paperwork as her legacy. And that is very real. But the to break down to that condition when we've had such a serious 20 years of propagandize on the female mind to be against the men. And that's why, and I have to forewarn all the men right now, if a woman is going crazy over you and she wants to be with you and whatnot, if she has children, you always have to consider survival instinct. you know you have to consider that she's operating in said fashion because of survival instinct.
And then not only that, that survival instinct is going to be correlated with the environment, and the environment is very unpredictable due to the fact that the women didn't win their bullshit that they were trying with Biden and all the LGBTQ and all the BBL and all the I hate men bullshit, and what was the other one? We don't need no man and all this. Ain't no more good men. All that shit y'all been hollering for the past 20 years came back and bit you in the ass. So now a lot of females are operating out of a guilt trip, and they're trying to make sure that you don't smell any area where they need consequences for their activity of the past 20 years of being divisive towards our reproduction and our progression, because that's what a species does. Okay, they reproduce and progress, and they do it male by female in couples. Now there's variations on how the system works amongst a lot of different mammals, reptiles, birds, aquatic animals, whatever. There's a lot of different systems that operate within those spaces. And unfortunately, Americanism has, or Western civilization thought has, influenced the planet. And when we look into the details of Western civilization, they don't thoroughly have a good grip when it comes to male female relations. If we're going to start their history at Greece and look at what's been going on ever since then, you have a lot of backward activity going on. But one thing about that backward activity is that y'all stay hardcore unified. So, we give it to you there. I don't know if the backward activity obviously has something to do with it, because it's interwoven with the fact y'all stay together, and your woman stays with you, but y'all got some backward ass shit going on. You understand? And that's just the rest of the way the rest of the world views that shit. You see what I'm saying? And now that they didn't influence the rest of the world, we're all trying to do what they do and live how they live, and we don't know the rules and regulations on how they live and how their culture is structured. That's part of the reason of the white flight. When you move into their neighborhoods, they don't want you seeing on what they actually do and how they get down, so they get the fuck on. You see what I'm saying? So, and trust me, I don't have no problem with no white folk. Okay. I just understand what the system is. And we all have to look at the reality of what the system is. And we have to look at a way longer history line of activity versus just, stopping here in American history and looking at the whole slave picture and blah, blah, blah. And the extensions of existence goes way further than that. And so does where your behaviors come from. So we need to look at some things. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, the division has come through, and it's obviously the women of all races have followed the way of Western civilization, and they have driven a wedge in between the male and the female. And there's been male responses with that, with the whole incel shit, with all of these shootouts and all this old dumbass shit going on. you know, um, the killing of the domestic violence and all of that shit. It's kind of funny because even when you look up male order brides, when you look up male order brides in America and the whole history behind that, the only reason male order brides stopped was because white men were beating their wives. They were beating the women that they were ordering from the other countries. So they had to create a whole new law about it, because mail order brides is still going on right now. And it's crazy shit. So that's what happened. The white man would order him a little Asian Philippine wife so he could beat up on. And then we try to take this imagery that's deep inside Western civilization, because we can see it on your paintings in the 1500s. I got paintings and drawings of y'all dragging your women by your hair across, beating her over the head with stuff. Even the woman beating the man. Your social issues that you have wrapped up in your civilization is not found, and that's even documented by your scholars, is not found amongst the activities of the native people on this planet. So all of your Kirk shit and all your Britney Spears shit and all your MK Ultra shit, nigga, I saw a video uh that was recorded like in the 1930s or 40s. It was still black and white. They were showing some insane and solemn here in America where they had all these test babies from all of these different chemicals that they were putting on their own people. You have to understand a lot of this shit be white people on white people. Ain't got shit to do with us. And it'd be best for you to draw that line. You know what I'm saying? I'm not involved in your nonsense. Come on, man, with the bullshit. Straight. I don't got nothing up here, man, and they be tripping on my videos because I'm spitting the truth. They already know it. And that's why you need to donate. You want to hear some more truth so I can stay up to date on what's going on with all this bullshit and be posting videos for y'all to appreciate. You know what I'm saying? You donate now, you hit the Cash App, you buy the books. Don't forget, I got the sale going on at the kickedoutofheaven.com, $33 for all three. And then I also have the all 9 books going for sale at the blackmansbible.com for $100. Okay, so let's not miss the deal. It is the deal of the lifetime. And then don't forget to go to Millennium DVDs. You can get 30 DVDs for $100 because I provide. Okay, and that's just how the game works. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so busy providing, I don't got time to get in front of it mixed in with the heebie-jeebie of, spider web thinking ass niggas. And that's what people have been supporting. It's very embarrassing. The whole conscious shit is embarrassing on how niggas have allowed these fucking fools to represent you and you to be so deeply involved in the support and the liking and the admiration of these individuals, and they left you stranded. They abandoned you, okay, and then they went over here and got locked up by some motherfucking pussy. Ain't that a bitch? I'm gonna tell you right now, 720 ain't going to jail by no pussy, nigga. You done lost your goddamn mind. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, my dog. Pussy is not that important. There ain't a pussy underneath the sun. Gonna have me crying and want to kill myself and want nigga. Have you lost your goddamn mind? No. Yeah, that shit is not gonna happen. And I don't even see. Well, I mean, I do see how it happens to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't well experienced. Niggas be having the niggas be having this whole thing in their mind from that single mama experience that they want to conquer the disciplinary action, which is loaded in their mind as a female, and they want to conquer that through their wifing, through whatever ways of manipulation or sexual activity they try to conquer that zone. But then again, the dominance that's loaded in your mind comes from your mom. So you can't conquer that shit through another girl, and then you go insane trying to develop past this whole frequency of disciplinary action locked up in your mind. And because when women be mad, they take it out on everybody. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They get mad at things in their life and they can't take it out on the person who actually installed those issues in you. You want to go out and take it out on a stranger in the world, you know. And it's a very sad case. Yo, y'all get up in the comments, man. What's up with the questions, man? What's going on with the other shit that's going on in society? There's so much shit going on right now. I couldn't even stay abreast with everything that's going on. Because, I mean, I don't look it up. That's why I don't have these crazy design videos that y'all probably be seeking for me to have shit flying on the screen and showing you the facts. And man, that shit is I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever pick up on doing that type of shit. I'm gonna have to have a team that do all that shit. I ain't no nerd ass nigga, man. And that's what people get the game fucked up about me, just because I understood that information is it can be a product for those who don't have the information. You confuse it as a nigga as a big old teddy bear. And a lot of people come over here and thinking I'm some teddy bear that's gonna go over here and feed the poor and shit, and they get their shit really fucked up fucking with me on them lanes. Cause I don't nah nigga. No, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. But anyways, yeah, the ladies are hunting for security right now. A lot of them are very scared. They're scared from the guilt trip of all the shit talking for the past 10, 20 years. They don't know what's going to come with this whole Trump shit. They don't feel protected without their Democrat and their fucking bullshit ass rainbow flag that they wasn't even invited in on it anyways. That shows you how dangerous the thought pattern is that women were supporting all that rainbow bullshit and nobody in that rainbow bullshit even like you. They don't even like you. They all trying to mimic you and replicate you, duplicate you, and move you out the way. Because everybody wants to destroy the man. Because the man brings order. But a man's order can be considered tyranny because it is his point of view on how things should be going. Basically, what you want to call a healthy tyrant, a healthy dictator. Okay. And that's what everybody wants to hate on because but then at the same time they don't have it in their blood, nor have they done the research to understand how to rule civilization anyway. So if you was to give civilizations to the peasants that want to have great revolutionary war and race wars or whatever type of war, then all they're going to do is destroy shit so they can sit on a tree hump, because they're not going to be able to rebuild civilization because they're not educated enough in order to do so. They haven't, they don't understand financial structures. They don't understand a lot of things that come in, especially with modernized civilization. Nigga, please, import, export trade, feeding, the fucking, how to make how to plantationize a fruit or a vegetable, colonize it, all of that type of shit. Hey, man, please. Those who want to tear down civilizations feel as if they're not included in that civilization, and that's why they have to tear it down. They don't understand business. Anybody that understands how business operates and all the details and all the bullshit, ups and downs, and unexpected events that occur during the course of constructing a business understands they automatically have an embedded respect line towards business because of what they went through to develop their own. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that's tearing down businesses, robbing stores, and doing all that shit, they're not in the mind frame of a provider. So never hoot and holler with the revolutionary, especially in modern day revolutionaryism, because they can't name one revolution that has occurred in history. They haven't studied shit. They're unorganized. You understand? And when you are unorganized, you fail. You know what I'm saying? You are still what you want to call primitive. You understand? You're still in primate format. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I just watched that movie Captain Phillips recently. Very good movie. My nigga told me it was gonna be a good movie years ago. I didn't watch it. I ended up watching it recently. A beautiful movie. The acting was superb. But in the movie, it was a trip because you got these Somalians who are pirates in the water, and they got American guns, and they're robbing an American ship, and got your ass locked up in America, fucking around. But you give the primitive, you give the tribal man the gun, and they jump up and down, and they use it for power. They use it to impose fear and threat. And this is what has occurred when we see the guns used in America. I mean, we haven't seen a situation yet where, motherfuckers are getting sniped out of the hood or none of that. They don't really have a true practice and understanding of their weaponry, nor have they modified weaponry to develop it in a better point of protection or whatever the fuck they're doing, because they're not protecting anything. You can only protect what you own. You know what I'm saying? You don't own none of them streets. You don't own none of them houses. So basically, it's just a self-sabotage cataclysm course is what's going on. Is a decreasing of the population done by your own mechanisms. And we see that in a multitude of different areas: Chicago, LA, DC, all of them. Niggas is killing niggas and then want to blame somebody else about them killing each other. The thought pattern is so fucking ass backwards, my nigga. It's best to just, stay on the hush hush, make a song, dance your jig on stage, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? because this shit is wild. Yo, we got any questions? Get in the comments, man. All this just sitting and listening shit, not getting involved shit, man. Come on, bro. I'm the only nigga on YouTube who gets done like that. But why? Why do I get why? Why do I get this? Why do I have the spy? You know what I'm saying? And the spy is here. They say nothing. They watch the video the whole time. You know, I come back to the video. 100, 300 people don't watch it. Ain't nobody said shit. I don't know who the fuck watching my shit. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So keep me alive. I keep you alive. But yeah, yeah. What's going on with some situations going on in the public, man? Y'all let me know what you think or what you feel about everything that's going on. You know, they still got Keefy D locked up about the whole Tupac situation. We ain't heard nothing about the Big U situation, or the Lil Durk situation, or the Puffy situation. You know, everybody has. I guess they're all playing the fool. That's what people want to do, is play the fool. You know, come on, where y'all at, man? Ain't nobody saying nothing in the comments, man. This shit weak, man. Stop letting shit be weak around you. You know, I don't like weak shit. Straight up. White skin, black skin thing. Heartthrob Forever says, I was wondering about the whole white skin, black skin thing regarding heat tolerance. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by heat tolerance? You talking about like UV rays and skin lotion and shit, sun ray lotion or whatever the fuck? Is that what you're talking about? Um, you know, white people are humans like everybody else, dog. And the biggest thing about it, and what is shown in the Kicked Out of Heaven, is that they have a greater uh like, we've been taught that we're best suited for slave labor. Yeah. Yeah, it's obvious you ain't developed enough engineers yet. Today, has the black race produced enough doctors to say that they're not best suited for slave labor? That's the question. The real question is, have you produced enough in, gentlemen, scholarly, prestigious areas of existence that have governmental thinking and can take care of governmental responsibilities? That's the question. And if you have not, if you have not, then you are slave by default. If the turtle cannot produce speed, he is slow. Well, that's the way it works. And, when you tell the black people how it works, they just get offended because you're just supposed to accept them as perfect for whatever position they're in. They don't look in the mirror and check themselves. And that's the whole point. You got to stand in the mirror and consistently check yourself in order to better yourself. You have to look at what you're not doing, not what has been done. You have to look at the conditions right now and fill the holes. When you have a brain that looks at what is not being done, that's where you find the loopholes. And when you find the loopholes, that's when you can monopolize in business. That's where you can get away scot-free with the bag. That's only if you don't abuse the loophole. But everything has a loophole. You understand? So, Kicked Out of Heaven was born out of a loophole. I knew that didn't nobody have that type of information compounded, and nobody has done that research, and we cannot depend on the European to expose that level of research about his own activity to other races, which he would have never done. Okay, so there is a loophole. The loophole is that all you got to do is, hey, everybody's complaining about women, complaining about their relationship status and things of that nature, complaining about cancers and whatnot, breast cancer, blah blah blah. There is a loophole. There's nobody that has any literature that is going over the female in all aspects pertaining to the definition of their name, to their biology, to their social activities. So why not? I said there's a loophole right there. We write the encyclopedia. It's really that simple. We shouldn't make things any more difficult than what they already are. We live in a very confused world right now, and ain't nobody giving us no pointers on what to do left or right. You know, um, and that's just what it is. You know, um, so you got to look for the loopholes. Is the Negro best suited for slave labor? I mean, we've definitely put ourselves in that position to say yes, because the mothers of the children of the slaves have not produced anything greater out of the position of slave. You cannot include entertainers because they don't produce a goddamn thing. You have to look at the inventors, manufacturers, distributors. That's it. You know, and also military. Um, This is an important statement. We have the brother Slick Willie here. It says, I tried to educate my brothers when it comes to weapons. They won't let go of that Draco. The movies and music videos are toxic teaching. Yeah, and I might have a big surprise for y'all. Well, I got some things coming through, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of music videos for a lot of my old songs and a new album if shit goes right, like it's supposed to be going right. And I need your assistance, your financial donation assistance that will be going towards music videos, and for me to kick the world's ass and representing those who will not have their intelligence insulted, because that's what I represent. You not gonna be over here thinking you can fill a nigga with Coca-Cola, nigga, and the nigga gonna be some video game pajama wearing fuck. You got another thing coming. If that's what you thought was gonna happen, nigga, fuck you and fuck your plan and fuck anybody who fucking is assisting or enforcing your plan, and that's including these dumbass bitches out here that's enforcing your white boy bullshit. Fuck you. That's the bottom line. You understand? And that's why I don't, man. Be I be man. The brother tried to educate niggas on weapons. Niggas don't want to get educated on anything. You bring education to the Negro, bro, he's gonna think you're a tyrant. Nigga, who you think you is? You know, niggas look at niggas to see if they gonna set the bar or who gonna set the bar. Niggas look at niggas as competition. Even when they try to act like they your homie and all that other shit. That's why one of my rules is I don't fuck with nobody that is not on the intellectual. And if I can't say names like an Albert Pike or a Frederick Nietzsche or a fucking, or a Shaka Zulu or a Tutankhamun, if I can't say none of these names to you, nigga, and you know who them motherfuckers is, now I'm not fucking with you. We don't have anything to conversate about. You're a dumbass in my book. You don't know anything about world history. You're not digging in. You're not none of that. I don't do any of that. So and individuals who understand those names have no problem with education. But people who don't consider astrology, who don't consider religion, who don't consider these type of areas of life, metaphysics, magic medicine, alternative methods of medicine, homeopathic and holistic medicine. I'm not fucking around with you. You're a goddamn dumbass. Yeah, Carl Jung. You can't say these type of names. Robert Kiyosaki, Kevin O'Leary. You're not saying the Robert Frederick Smith. There's a lot of these names that are important to our existence and what you be needing to know about your environment right now. And if you can't say those names, you're a dumbass by default. I don't give a fuck about how you feel. You're a fucking dumbass. That's all there is to it. Look, this is it. Universities have developed everything you see and use and touch. You use it. Whether that be vehicles, whether that be dye-in shirts, whether that be books, whether that be planes you fly on, whether that be, food that you get from the Taco Bell, the business structure of the Taco Bell. There is a CEO, a CFO, a COO. There is a management hierarchy system. There is all of these things. And if you aren't educated on those areas of those things, you don't have respect for your existence. See, I don't know. Entrepreneurs and business people understand that their responsibility in that area is provision. People who work a job don't have provisions. They don't understand, nor do they care enough about humans to see a problem and be able to provide a solution to that problem. So they work a job and they don't give a fuck about others. That's why when they get off their job, they turn into this other person because they're two-faced by nature. Humans are two-faced by nature because they are all composed of good and bad. So you are two-faced and you will utilize whatever is best for your benefit pertaining to the situation. You see, so when people get off their job, which is one face, they go home and they talk shit to their husband or they beat their wife because you were a devil the entire time and you never had the intelligence to provide to others anyway. And that's why you have to express violence towards the ones you love. But then when you get on your job, you're bound by the receiving of a check because that's all you see as important anyway is your own immediate survival. Your decisions are not based upon understanding how they're going to affect everybody that is connected to you. You see, so watch that when it comes to people's behavior. If a motherfucker act like one way on the job, but they get off that job and they act a completely different person, you're a dumbass. You're a two-faced lying fuck. And we're going to see now that it's been objectified because a lot of people don't pay attention to this type of shit because you don't be looking at the human behavior lines. Look at it, bro. The woman, she comes home and she ate I said this years ago, she ate the Applebee's lunch with the boss, but came home and brought you the Mickey D's dollar menu. You understand? But she was with the boss at lunch, nigga, and had gourmet, nigga. You understand? Brought you back scraps, nigga. That's right. That's right. That's how it works in the world. Why is motherfuckers lying? That's how it works out here. This is embarrassing, B. I appreciate the donation, but $3, my nigga, come on, bro. My phone just rang. I had to do that. I appreciate it. I always appreciate everything, but good Lord, my nigga. But yeah, this is the line. You have to watch out for how people, think and operate, because there's a lot of sorry motherfuckers out here on this planet. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, man, look, man, I don't be trying to do no conviction. Y'all got to understand one thing about 720. Can I say something, man? I want everybody to hear this very fucking clear about me. Ever since I was born, bro, I don't really talk to the humans. I have to deal with the spirits that operate humans. And I really didn't find out what that thoroughly was until I wrote the medieval, and I had to understand what that was. What is the medieval? The medieval is a compilation that stands on top of activities from Greece and Rome, where they've designed spirits that are embedded inside of words from a repetitive activity that occurred within their social realm from Greece all the way up until now. And they still introduce these new words on y'all, and y'all don't know what that means or what you're doing because you just follow whatever the fuck these Europeans say after slavery. They understood clearly that we needed some type of system that's going to, keep boundaries on the mind. And they did that through words, because see, what a lot of people don't understand is that you can alter time with Latin. You know what I'm saying? The ancient Latin language is designed in a way where it can alter time. It can adjust the past and it can adjust the future, create the future, and by the way the words are set up and the way the whole system is set up. The Judaic, Hebrew, ancient Hebrew has another line of power, but I don't know what that specifically is. Same with when we talk about Sanskrit or German, and then you got a whole nother language that's embedded inside the English language that has a lot to do with the base operation of the spirit. It's called Cant language, and that's going to be the first and the last time you'll ever hear me talk about that. But I have to explain it because I feel as if it's needed. But the majority of what you encounter day to day comes out of Cant language. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never hear about that language because that is the root spirit of the English language. It's not found in Latin. It's not found in Greek. It's not found in Sanskrit. Okay, it's not found in German. It's not found in French. Okay, but it did develop out of a combination of all of those systems, including Hebrew. And that's also with the connection of it to a behavior. You see, so what happened in the medieval times was basically the development of spirits, which takes about maybe 200 to 300 years to do. And you have to develop these spirits through constantly moving the word around throughout society and doing it in specific ways. So the name will become a plant, and then that name will move into a person who was famous at a time period. And then that same word might move over here to a social behavior. Then that same word might move over to a specific person that's in a play or a theater. And I mean, at a certain play that got was extremely popularized. Like for instance, I was looking up the name I think it was Jessica was first brought to um English through not only Hebrew Jessica, but it was inside of a Shakespeare play, you know. And there's a lot of names that came through the Shakespeare plays and whatnot, and a lot of names that come from the ancient religious structure. That's you have to understand. The word bounces around throughout time. Like I said, it takes 200, 300 years to do this. So then they built these spirits up inside these words, and then they use these words in the English language, and y'all don't know what the fuck you're saying. So, and people think shit talking is okay and all of this. Like, for instance, that where did this whole system of calling a woman or calling your mate fine shit come from? Like, what the fuck? What dumbass would call their woman fine shit? Like, what is that? Why would you call your mate fine shit? Like what, nigga? But they do that. They bring this dumb shit out. The feds. They bring that shit into the black culture, and they just use all these dumbass words. You unalived him and all this other shit. Because now that the Kicked Out of Heaven got released, I introduced all the other sides. Because before the Kicked Out of Heaven was released, you didn't know nothing about an infanticide or fratricide, or they got the homicide, they got kidnapping, they also got adult napping. Kidnapping is different from adult nap. They got, bro, the way the English language is structured up, man, nigga, please. But we don't have enough people studying all of these different sciences in order to catch up, and that's the only thing, you know, that black people could do right now is stop being on the front line, running your fucking mouth online, shut all this podcast down, and everybody be 1,000% serious on deciphering old literature. And we're talking about as many books as we can from the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. And you're not going to find out the totality of slavery until everybody is doing that on a very serious responsibility mind frame, and shit. Until that's collectively done, you'll never know what really happened in slavery. You would need every single African American in America to be studying and reading every single book that they can find on the literature of what was written during the times, and also scholars that was writing about situations that occurred, and even the newspapers, all the old magazines, all the old everything. And until that moment comes, nigga, you ain't gonna know what the fuck really happened, bro, because it was different in every single county, every single location. You'll never be able to discover the rituals that occurred, and until we're all in on it and sharing our notes, and looking at this thing like a scientist instead of putting all this weak ass emotional bullshit in the way. All right, that emotion shit is weak. You know, that emotion shit will get you fucked up. because that's what we find on the basis of these softwares. People want to kill their parents, and people want to kill their wife, and people want to kill their children, and all this other shit. All that shit is emotionally driven. It's not logically driven, because if it was logically driven, your black ass about to go to jail. Your dumb ass gonna be sitting up in the cement block for 20, 30, 40 years. You go do this shit. That's logic. Logic can bring things to a conclusion. So yeah, stay away, man. You gotta stay away from the dumbasses out here. Yo, put something up in the comments, man. Ask some questions, man. Tell me what's going on in society. You want to hear what I got to say about whatever situation that I may have missed, But this is a current events video. We're doing a catch up right now, an update, and but yeah, I might have to get up out of here. Y'all not saying nothing, man. We don't got no movement going. Where's the questions? And don't be saying I be saying everything. A lot of people tell me I say everything that there is to say, so there really is no question to ask. No, bro. I'm going to blame that on the lack of gasoline in your brain. You have a lack of engine that is not going to the extremes to ask whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to create. That is called the hypothesis. And if you don't have a brain of creation, then it is called dead water. And dead water is stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Dead water it has no fish swimming. It is all stink, rotten, putrid. You understand? So yeah, ask me any question. I don't give a fuck if it's about hip hop, if it's about podcasts, if it's about the conscious community, if it's about what's going on in the news world. Um, do I think Charlie Kirk's situation was a nah, fam, they be scared you gonna flame them like you did me on the donation. I didn't know who that. I didn't flame you on the. I didn't say your name, nigga. See, y'all gotta watch how shit. Hey, I know you laughing right now. Look at this nigga here. Yeah, look at this nigga. You wanted to get flamed. That's what y'all want to do. That's what be happening. Motherfucker be wanting to get their little 10 minutes of fame, but nah, I didn't flame you. I didn't say nobody's name because I didn't even know who the $3 came from. But I did appreciate it. I do appreciate $3. I couldn't get a blunt with the $3, but nigga, I could get a quarter of gas, nigga. I couldn't get to take gas, nigga, with $3, nigga. But I do appreciate it. I salute. It's all about the gesture, is what they used to say. You dig what I'm saying? Nah, I ain't finna flame you, bro. I ain't finna flame nobody. But bro, what you gotta understand is that I'm not flaming anybody at all because you're in the internet. You are looking at a video through the internet. Nobody knows who you are. You are identified as a screen name. Nobody knows your face. Nobody knows your email. Nobody knows anything about you. You're not being flamed, brother. Okay, don't do that shit. But nah. I don't be flaming people when they ask questions, man. Sometimes if the shit is, way out of pocket, I might, but I don't be trying to flame nobody, bro. Fuck that shit, dog. I don't be trying to put nobody on Front Street. No shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead, ask the questions, man. Go ahead. Yeah, you knew I was joking. Yeah, come on, man. We gotta laugh with each other. Laughter is important. We can't be allowing all this old dumbass shit. They try to put the depression on a nigga. Yeah, they try to put the goddamn, oh, nigga, you ain't getting no pussy, nigga, you ain't getting no money, nigga. Yeah, that's what they try to put on the black man. They try to make a black man jump off the bridge. And some of these niggas is doing it. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. A nigga, dog, New York to LA, a lot of niggas be trying to turn they women into men. And then they go out here and go to the jail with a bunch of niggas. So you niggas is some weirdos, B. You niggas like niggas. I don't like niggas. I don't want no nigga around me. You stay the fuck away from me. You understand me? Because the brain is unbalanced. You understand? Now, if a motherfucker is about some dough that we can did Charlie ever run across my books? Charlie who? Charlie Kirk? I don't know. I don't know if he ran across my books or not. There's a lot of people who have ran across my books though, and they don't be saying nothing. They stay in the quiet because these are secrets that you didn't know built your civilization, bro. And I have proven it. And there's not anybody scholastically or anybody in the academia, nobody in this conscious community can prove me wrong. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if he didn't ran across my books or not, you know. I remember I tried to get Jesse Peterson to put a commercial up for my book. He refunded me my money. Yeah, that's right. I know Cornell West knows about the book. I know who's the mother niggas. Them other two niggas that be doing all the rah 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 on TV or whatever. I can show you a picture of some of them niggas. They got the book, but they not gonna give no recognition. The object heading towards Earth, it's a big happy meal. Hey, let me tell you something. The alien says, "How do we communicate with the human?" And they said we jump in the Happy Meal bag and we fly. They got a big spaceship coming towards Earth. Okay, it's in the shape of a McDonald's bag, the Happy Meal. You know, and they're gonna fly over Earth first and throw all the toys out the fucking bag on top of us. And it's gonna pop our tires. All our cars are gonna be fucked up. They're gonna fuck up the whole ecosystem with all the Happy Meals. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. You gotta understand. I like that though. I like you did that though. Let's talk about this. This is the white man. And this is what I understand. Hold on. Let me see here. The so-called object heading to Earth. B, how many objects have been heading to Earth, brother? That's the question, brother. The question is, did you go to Mars? No. Did you? Dog, the president can barely make it to the bathroom, bro. The Biden, the any of these niggas, and you talking about going to the goddamn moon. Bro, you haven't been to the moon, bro. Ain't no spaceship coming here. White boy been talking this Y2K shit. The world gonna blow up. The sky is falling since goddamn since JFK got shot. Then white boy been talking that shit. Ain't nothing happened yet. You know, two planes went up in some buildings. Once again, there's white folk doing white folk shit. You know, what am I supposed to do about it? The Pentagon and shit. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck about your problems, dog. Like, that is your shit, bro. You created the shit. Why do motherfuckers think they could, help me with my dumbass? That's what they say out here in the world. I'm gonna do some stupid shit, and you have to stop everything in your existence to assist me with my stupid shit. No, you're a fucking retard. And with the availability of intelligence today, there's no excuse. If you have chosen to be a dumbass, if you're a dumbass, you have chosen to be a dumbass. This is the position that you like. You see, there's no excuse today. You can get online, learn how to build anything. Man, I've learned about maybe over the past 2 weeks, I've learned maybe about 10 different industries in and out, studying everything about them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear none of that shit. The motherfuckers is bullshit, you know. So yeah, the white man gonna talk that the sky is falling, the Y2K, the world done blown up. There's an ice wall. There's a lizard, in the middle of the earth controlling the world. You're a dumbass, bro. Who cares, bro? Like, bro, you can't put my brain in no fantasy. Fuck all that shit you talking about. What? Here's another question. What do I think the Democrats' next move is going to be? I don't know, bro. I mean, it's basically a war that's going on outside. The Democrat move was the Charlie Kirk, wasn't it? Wasn't he some curly-haired tranny fucking motherfucker, bro? And that's what the white man has going on. The white man's war right now is like Rambo versus the rainbow hair training. And that is the big war in the white world because ain't nobody else a part of this shit. Ain't nobody else making no pills for no trannies to change no set. We don't have booty issues. You motherfuckers got booty issues, and you done had sex issues since ancient Greece, nigga. It's all over your pottery. It's all in your paintings. It's all in your literature. This is your shit. It's all in what you did in the Catholic schools to the Native American children. It's all of what you did in slavery, and you was trying to make all the dudes homos and shit. There's a long history of this shit, and it's your documentation. This is your fucking issue. It's nobody else's issue. We're chilling, B. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers want to talk about, the white supremacy, nigga. It was white supremacy when your ass was eating the Quaker oats too, nigga. You was buying the Lucky Charms. You was buying the motherfucking the little Miss Debbie, all of that shit. You dig what I'm saying? What is the Democrat gonna do next? I don't know, bro. We don't even know there's gonna be a Democrat anymore. The women are fucking. Everybody is embarrassed that the Biden lost, and they're completely angry that the fucking Kamala is not running the show, and they don't know how to respond to it, but with violence. You know what I'm saying? Because they're angry. And I mean, I don't know. Who cares? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make $1, pay my goddamn rent, get me a new woman up in here and have me a beautiful situation. That's all I'm nigga, all this other dumb shit y'all niggas care about. Niggas be involved in too much stupid ass shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't, nigga, please. I've seen too much dumb shit be. And when you see a lot of stupidity when you're young, your whole mind gets built in a way to be preventative during the course of your life. And that's what definitely has happened with me. I'm preventative from a lot of dumbass shit. I do not allow dumb shit to fucking continue on. I'm protective of my children. I'm protective of my space. I like what I own. I preserve what I own. I appreciate what I own. I buy things that appreciate. You know what I'm saying? And you should too. There's no need in striking up a jealous bone because somebody else operates like that when it's being brought to you that you can operate like that. It's simple because life is based on decisions, my friend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely appreciate the heartthrob for the donation because he the only one that did it. Is there anybody else got the motherfucking courage to step up to the plate? Do you understand me? Okay, because yeah, and ask some more questions too on what's going on with society. What's going on with the rap game? Will rap revive? To be honest, I'm probably the only nigga who could revive music, or revive rap music or black music. You know, they just some 3 million, some black female AI, um, AI robot that sings R&B, a black girl, just got a $3 million deal, and I said, and when the homie told me about this shit, which I had already seen it, and then it came up in conversation, I said, bro, but you have to understand why. Why would somebody invest into an AI black female that is an R&B singer? And the reason why is because they know black women will sign up to any form of illusion, first and foremost. And they also know that black women are very deprived when it comes to a beauty exception that's being done socially in the media. And they also know that they don't have anybody in the media to thoroughly relate to when it comes to emotional issues because women today are, hell bent with trying to prove to men that they're tough or that they're a threat. They want to prove to men that they're intimidating is the best word. I know you've all heard that. And guess what, ladies? Let's talk about it. You've made yourself intimidating to men. Now, what did that do for you? Did that strike up a nerve? Did it make your bank account fatter? That's why a lot of people have a problem with me because I just point out how your emotional activity has no bearing. It has no fruit, and then you're a dumbass for committing the emotionally based activity because you didn't gain anything in the end, you know? So you wanted to impose to men that you're intimidating and that you're a threat. And men understand that. And men understand that anything that is intimidating or threat, you have to build up a defense against because these are war behaviors. These are conflict behaviors. So now that we have to pull up a defense, that you have expressed your threat, you have expressed your desire to intimidate, and we now recognize that because you're intimidating our money, you're threatening our money, you're threatening our livelihood by being in jail. You're threatening our health with with the possibility of trying to poison or trying to create a domestic violence situation that can end Ari, because all domestic violence situations don't end up with just a couple. The police could end up showing up and shooting up everybody. You know, when you call the police, you don't know what's going to happen. At no time do you ever know what is going to happen. But the police will always show up for children who aren't mature enough to come to an ends means or understand how to agree with each other on a specific situation. And that's why the police come. That's why domestic violence is there. And that's why the state is involved, because you're a child and you have a child's mentality. And we're not going to publicly provide the information that makes you mature. For the information and the experiences that are needed to make you mature is something that you have to do on your own. And you have to have an interest rate in order to, and you're definitely going to have to be interested into history in order to develop that maturity. So now that the ladies have imposed themselves to be a threat, men have rescinded and say, okay, you're a threat. And we back up, because if there's five bulls that run onto the football field, you best believe the quarterback is not looking for the running back to throw the ball at. He's going to get the fuck off the field, just like everybody else is going to get off the field, because the bulls are intimidating. They are a threat to my existence. So now that the women have created themselves as a threat or intimidating, they have created a wedge in between male and female, and now they're on a guilt trip because they don't know what to do with it, because now the shillings off the fucking roof are falling off and you don't know how to repair them. And same with the gutter that's falling off the side, and same with the ground and the landscaping that needs to be done with the vehicle, and same with the transmission that's making a noise on your car. But you wanted to impose yourself as a threat because that was more important than maintaining the mechanics of your environment and understanding who built those mechanics and also who maintains them. You see, because your brain is so short wit, and we're worried about what's being shown on the media and following whatever the media tells you, when you don't understand propaganda, you don't understand media insanity, you don't understand political insanity. So you just fall victim, and you just want to do whatever monkey see monkey do, and then you're going to deal with those results that come. You understand? You see how that works? So ladies, you need to stop with the intimidating, I suggest, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been searching a lot of businesses, man, and I've been doing a lot of investigating on the projections of certain industries within the next 5 years. You want to know what industries that are going to balloon in the next 5 years that you should put your money on, whether it comes to the stock market or when it comes to real estate? They're all industries dealing with medicine, and dealing with medical transport, and also dealing with assisted living and senior citizens. Everything from apps to transport is needed in these areas, because these areas are ballooning, because we have a generation of individuals who think their anger and their hatred and their pettiness and not being able to compromise during certain situations is more important than their survival. And then you will be lonely by yourself with some random nurse who doesn't want to be there that day, and they're going to pull the plug on you because you are an angry dumbass. And that's how it works. You see what I'm saying? Me, I go by pecking order. So that means seniority, and that means, achievement space. If my achievements are greater than yours in life, if my understanding and my conquering or whatever is greater than yours in life, then you're a subordinate, and you need to listen to what is being told. You know, if you, for instance, if I get with a shorty, that's 20 years in the game on real estate, then I am a subordinate in that area. I don't know that much about real estate, especially for an individual that has 20 years. I'm going to listen to her game and I'm going to follow what the rule and regulation is so we can get the dollars up. But if you aren't in that position, then you will have to play your position. You understand? And that's what's wrong with a lot of people is they don't want to recognize their position because their position is filled with lack because you wasted time over the past 20 years. I didn't go fucking party. Fuck the club. Fuck a fucking raggedy bitch with tattoos all over her fucking head. Fuck a motherfucker with goddamn all types of colors in their fucking hair that need to be looking like some fucking flamingo so you can catch some fucking reject that's not even gonna, don't even have the intelligence or the soul to raise your goddamn children. And now we're looking at the results of bad decisions for the past 20, 40 years, running all around here, thinking that their problems are supposed to be on your shoulders. Okay? Yeah, that's what society is today. You know? That's what it is. You know, and it's ugly. It's an ugly piece of work. You understand? For real. So that's just what it is, man. You know, I want people to be a lot more alert and aware about what's going on around them, man, and stay away from the goddamn propaganda. Don't allow yourself to get fucked up in here. You know, for real, for real. So yeah, y'all go ahead and hit the donation, man, the Cash App, man. Y'all go buy the books and all of that. If I ain't got no questions or anything anybody wants to talk about real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle up out of here. You know, so go ahead and put your questions up real quick. I'm gonna be right back. If y'all got anything you want to say it now or forever hold your peace. Okay, we ain't got nothing. Nobody said nothing. Yeah, I had to go piss like a racehorse. My bad about that shit. But yeah, I'm in Las Vegas, nigga. Las Vegas, you come out here get the drinking, nigga, and shit. You gonna have to hold your bladder gonna learn a whole new skill. You see what I'm saying? Because boy, you might have to walk a mile, 2 miles to get to a bathroom. So out here sometimes. So yeah. Okay, hold on. I had a question right here. What's gonna be my next equipment I'm gonna get? What do you mean my next equipment? I'm still trying to get the skulls brittles. So we still gonna do that. Everything that I say I'm gonna, man, we're still in the play. Don't even think that it's not gonna happen. So y'all hit the donation so we can get these skulls brittles, man. And y'all want to see some wild shit, we can go ahead and revive this internet real quick because everything is becoming very dead weight. What do you mean the next equipment I'm gonna get? And oh yeah, and that's also pertaining to getting the dunk right. So yeah, I still got my whip, brand new engine in and all that shit. I just got to get a couple more things adjusted, and we gonna be flying, nigga. I still got my whip, nigga. What's gonna be my next equipment I'm gonna get for the live and all of that, so we know what we need to do. What do you mean? I'm still not getting what you're saying. My next equipment. What equipment about what? Equipment for what? Is we gonna run the revolution? Is we gonna build? Is we gonna build the Mad Max Dome? What are you talking about? You know, because man, you know, no, I got it. I don't need no new studio equipment. I got a full blown studio to do I got a full blown studio to do the next album in. I was just talking to that dude yesterday. Full blown studio. And the album is gonna have 18 songs of fucking slappers. Oh my god. This new album is so fire that every song requires a video, which hopefully that's what's gonna happen. Gonna have to happen. Now I don't need no new equipment for the studio. I already got a studio that I'm going to be a real live studio, so the production going to sound a little different on the next album. But what I do need equipment for is for the podcast that's going to be humongous. And I already have a location for that. But what we're aiming to get is the Scold's Brittles. Yeah, the content creation is the Scold's Brittles is the only equipment my fans need to be worried about and need to be focused on is donating to the God 720 to get these Scold's Brittles so y'all can see a pretty little white girl wearing the Scold's Brittles in original medieval fashion. And we will be doing that on the blog talk. Okay. And I mean, if you're a black girl or a Spanish girl or an Asian girl, I don't care. You can come over here and put on the Scold's Brittle too. You understand? But a lot of a lot of women ain't got that love in their heart in this day and age. They don't have that. They don't have the wherewithal to do that. They think that they're more important than, they think they're bigger than the program, and to state that one thing for all my niggas, here's the bottom line. It's really simple when it comes to the ladies. The woman that is the top pedigree of woman is the woman that understands that the money is more important than her. The woman that understands the money, the power, and the dominance is more important than her, then she is the one, you flip the pancakes for her. Okay. She is the one that you put the flowers everywhere for. You know what I'm saying? What three books do I think couples should read together? That's a good question. That was good shit. Let's do that real quick. Um, I'm going to say, where is it? Um, I got this one book. Hold on, I'm looking for it real quick because I know it's right here. It should be right here. It's called. There it is. Right here. This one right here. You read this one. Have your woman read this one. Okay. Have your woman read this one. This is the book that you read with your woman, that you have your woman read right here. It's expensive. This book is hard to find. I think there's some copies available on what's the name. And let me show you why. You see that? It says Miss Dale Carnegie. This is how the letters and the mail was headed up when we were kids. It'd be Miss Dale Carnegie. Bitch. The bitch ain't got no representation up in there. Dale Carnegie is her husband's name. So she is the female version of her husband, is what that is stating. You know what I'm saying? In his social and business life. This is the book that you read. Okay. The second and the third book, I would have to say the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. So women could know what to dodge within their own thinking structures, and men could know what the full design is and what the picture is of the operation during the course of the relationship. Those are the three books that I would tell a motherfucker to read. And the reason why I stated that is because I had a long conversation with the Chat GPT about my books. And I put the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy up in there because they can read files. So, I had to read my literature, and I made the Chat GPT compare my literature with any other literature that was written out there scholastically or by anybody pertaining to, the female makeup. And it came back and said clearly no. Maybe I could pull up the conversation real quick. It said clearly no. There is nobody doing no shit like that. Hold on, let me see here. It said there is nobody who has put together all of those different sciences on the makeup of the woman and it gave an explanation, especially in encyclopedic form. Let me see if I could pull that conversation up real quick because that conversation was wild. I will admit. It was very wild. I be having some wild conversations with the Chat GPT. Let me see it. Oh yeah, I made it give me an IQ test. That shit was crazy. Okay, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find that combo. But I'll definitely go into it again with the Chat GPT. I probably need to do some videos where I'm just talking to Chat GPT. You know, because boy, I be asking some questions that I know a lot of other people are not going to ask. And I know y'all probably would be very interested in hearing some of the results or some of the answers that it gives. But yeah, now those would be the 3 books that I would tell couples to read together. Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women and How to Help Your Husband Get Ahead. You know, so, and I actually have that book for sale on my eBay right now. If y'all want to go to my eBay and check out some of the books that I got available for sale, you know. And some of the books are serious study books of mine, you know. So hold on. Let me see if it pulls together here. Let me get it for you. Get y'all the link and put it in the room real quick before I got to get up out of here. But yeah, so go get the info because you need it, you know, make your life better. It's raining all heavy out here. I don't even know if I'm gonna go out tonight now. But yeah, y'all keep it funky, man. Keep it 100. I got to get up out of here. Do the donation line. Get the books. Stop being a stranger. Stop being a spy. Fuck with the guys 720. Let's take over the world. Because somebody need to. Because everybody else is trying to has failed, nigga. They have all failed. You know, and it's very embarrassing what's going on this planet right now. You know. So, should I play that song? Yeah, I'm going to play these 2 songs. And I'm out of this bitch. Peace.
Stay alive. 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 Rappers like a savage, schizophrenia fun. Have you ever seen a skeleton and breathe with no lungs? All ribs, no tongue, steady bumping on his gums like they cocaine numb. The ungrateful son that takes shit from none. Red rum, come and get you some. Out the lake I come, the ocean depths. I rose from less, turn ghost from flesh. A skull with no nose that got smoke for breath. Come close to death and appreciate life. Cause it might be tonight that you walk to the light and meet the great judge. Cause law don't make love. A bad plus the dove equals OJ's glove. Yo, shit ain't organic, it don't come from the mud. Become gigantic when they think that you're young. Slave ship Titanic, the prodigal one on an impossible run. Unlocking a ton from an Antarctica dungeon. Regardless, the heartless is always running. Fuck that smart shit, I'ma keep it 100. Just in case you was wondering, we come for the hunting. Now ain't that something? When slaves dig their own grave all in a day. Gold teeth for the skull, cause we gonna stay paid. Just stump the game, the top hat gon' play. For the lost souls that need home, come this way. So shall I say, stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. A wizard and gentleman, I'm Pippin O'Gilligan, the Indian, Caribbean, the lizard amphibian. You come for the rum, for the sugar and cinnamon, but the soul is the gold, just the secret ingredient. And I bet you can't see me in a thin whirlwind. Make your wife my girlfriend, onyx and pearl skin, a vulture and pelican, alligator shoes on, call me reptilian. My culture American, my diamond Sicilian. When it's French, it's French, at death's expense. Set your spirit on fire till your heart's content. Can't start no shit, it won't make no sense. The poltergeist defense, don't leave no prints. Just give me the men, the abundance is redundant, I must admit. Only betting the pig, so his throat gets slit. I'm a witch doctor, African and Celtic. The meek will inherit the earth until you perish the dirt. This is the state of the art, my nigga, cherish your work. Never embarrassed because it's the dark I lurk. This is Vlad the Impaler, the Ottoman Turk. Shaka Zulu Part 2, just a rebirth. Some of you need church because you breathe your curse. Be thankful for what you got, it could be a lot worse. We all racing into hell, who gonna be first? The atmosphere my turn. Stay alive. 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 Stay alive.
You're in my world now!
We battle with the gods under a million stars. We battle with the gods under a million stars. We battle with the gods under a million stars. There's lion blood in my chalice, a goat heart in the balance. I speak in italics, discussing these chances. In the Eiffel Tower of Paris, my chariot, the color is metallic. A wonderland to Alice, it's all blunder and malice. Best talent that's combined with magic. Behind the static, there's voices in the shadow. The only choice is battle. Hop into Hellcat and skedaddle. They're watching King Kong climb the Tower of Babel. Ignore every Eve trying to give me an apple. The little rascal that can't be canceled. In the courtyard of my castle, these hens doing nothing but cackle. Now they walking in my chapel with candles that's lit. Definitely with the shits, cause we handle it. Commit with the building that is brick by brick. Old Mac, big head, can't tell me shit. Capoeira with the spiral kick, spit hieroglyphs when the tyrants sit at the Coliseum. Whether spies or allies, I know them when I see them. Greet them with an olive branch, that's for the treason. Watch Pocahontas rain dance for the season. Is he still breathing? After the execution, they blame spirits and start the accusing, and then survive every disaster and delusion. Supreme mathematics, the author of confusion. Niggas be cheating and they still losing. Bones in my blank keep me tuned and influenced by the moon sin. A lunatic in the truant skin, a boogeyman with a heart like a ruby gem. A whirlwind, I twirl in the middle of tornadoes. Between riddles and fables, keep my Glock on the table. Shot of scotch keeps me stable. Watching divas belly dance with diamonds in their navel. We rode on sound waves that was way before a label. And while you getting hung by the TV cable, I was ready and able. The black amour that raised you from the grave to the cradle. We battle with the gods under a million stars. We battle with the gods under a million stars. We battle with the gods under a million stars.